New York Giants at the Buffalo Bills. It's kind of weird going to be playing the Giants without John M. controlling them. Pete Metzelaars. Mark Bavaro. Oof. He tore me up in that last NFC title game I played against John M. and it was the 86 Giants roster, so. Looks overcast. Again, these rosters on Madden NFL 16 are brought to you by I Teach History 78 for the PS4. Yeah, 1986 and 1999 for Madden 16. 1975, 1989, and 1993 for Madden 17. And 1987 for Madden 18. Check them out. They're very detailed, very good. I did make a few changes to this roster myself, though. Phil McConkey was not on the Giants. Bruce Smith's hands weren't right. Neither was Mark Duper's face mask. And there was a spelling error on the Bills' defensive line, a McNamee, or whatever. I corrected it, but other than that, it is I Teach History. Hard work. Phil Simms, let's see how he's doing. He's thrown no interceptions and 10 touchdowns so far. Dang. The man who holds the all-time record for completion percentage in a Super Bowl. And it was this year. Let's see, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. We don't have Joe Morris starting. Right there, 95. Mac Nani. His name was spelled wrong. I don't know who he is anyway. I just happened to stumble on that in the roster. Holding on Chris Godfrey. Safety's covering Bavaro, and he's coming from way over there. Hopefully get a chip on him. A little bit. Martin Bayless on the tackle. See, until I downloaded these 86 rosters, I didn't know that Martin Bayless had been a Bill. I started following football in '88, although the first game I watched was Super Bowl 20. But I really didn't pay attention to that. I only picked the Bears because 6-year-old me didn't know what a Patriot was. Bart Oates anchoring the center. They got Tony Galbraith starting. I wonder what happened to Joe Morris. I wonder if they lost him. It's 3rd and 14 though. I thought I must be counting the... I must still be counting the penalty. Under some pressure from Talley, and then Bruce Smith forces the errant throw by Phil Simms. Come on, Ron Pitts. It's setting up for you. They need to cut quicker than that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's... I don't know. Here comes Jim Kelly. Not having the best of years. Only 2 interceptions so far. Got to get the offense moving. Been stale the last 2 weeks. Welcome in, my first viewer. Hopefully you're enjoying the 1986 Bills against the 86 Giants. Greg Bell right up the middle. In case you're joining us now, held the Giants to 3 and out on the first drive. Kent Hull is the center. Andre Reed and Jerry Butler are the wide receivers. Let's see. Joe Morris is not starting for some reason for the Giants. I didn't check the injury report, but they have Tony Galbraith starting. Some of the games will. All the YouTubers from the first playoff season are back. Myself, John M, B Blitz and U44. Conan Barbosa. Who else streamed game? Snook Ahead 13. And of course, the Super Bowl champion, Mr. Old Meathead 21 on Twitch. He's back. Ready to defend his... Oh, I thought I picked the run play. Ready to defend his title. We got some interesting first round matchups. The all-time, this is the all-time rosters created by what down is it, 2nd and 15, created by Brockinsons on PlayStation 4. Let's see, in the first round we're going to have the Colts, controlled by yours truly, up against the Chargers, controlled by the defending AFC champion Conan Barbosa, controlling the Chargers now. Not the best draw I could have hoped for, but it is what it is. I take on one of the defending champs, oh well. So far we have 8 of the 12 teams are in. Once the 12th team is in, it'll get going. We have the Bills hosting the Broncos in a first round matchup. Hit the X button too many times. I wanted to beat the delay game penalty. That's the AFC, and the first round buys in the AFC are going to be the Steelers and the Raiders. Over in the NFC, the first round buys are going to the Bears. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here. And the Redskins. Oh, that's fine. There will always be more. And the playoff game's got a heck of a matchup as Old Meathead, the defending Super Bowl champion, now controlling his beloved 49ers, hosts the Dallas Cowboys. They're used to meeting in my old league that I used to be a part of in the Super Bowl every year, so that's going to be interesting. 2 of the best going at it in the wild card. B Blitz and U44. That game should be streamed 1 or 2 ways, either on Twitch or on YouTube. And the other wild card game features the Falcons with a new member hosting the New York Giants and John M. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. I'm hoping to get John Unitas flowing early against the Chargers. I'm going to get into a shootout with Dan Fouts is the last thing I need. The only good thing is the game is in Indianapolis, because I drew a division championship. Charles Rome, so I believe just knocked down that pass. Yeah, I don't know why Joe Morris is not starting. He must be injured. This is week 4. Definitely helps me out, though. I think we got a hold. Now let's see. Is it offensive or defensive? Looks like it's on number 60. Now, do I back them up in the 4th and 12 or 3rd and 22 or 4th and 12 from the 32? We're going to decline and make them kick the field goal. On the early lead for the Giants as Allegre kicks the field goal. Got a playoff set though that has quarterbacks like Terry Bradshaw, Ken Stabler, Jim Kelly, Dan Fouts, John Unitas, John Elway. That's just the AFC. And then the NFC features, let's see, Michael Vick, Phil Simms, Sid Luckman. When is that going to be? We're hoping to get everybody signed up by tomorrow, and then the games will start rolling out. Let's see. The Bears and Redskins have to buy, so Sid Luckman and I'm going to say Joe Theismann is starting for the Redskins. Now, they don't have to go with obviously the guy who's starting. Like, I have Peyton Manning on my bench. I could have gone in there and started Manning, but I'm a John Unitas fan, so. Cowboys have Roger Staubach. 49ers have Joe Montana. That's going to be a hell of a playoff game right there. Montana versus Staubach. The other NFC game features Phil Simms and the Giants against Michael Vick and the Falcons. Hey, I want to ask you viewers a question. If one of you is my brother, send me a text message, because I know you can't comment on the chat, so I know you're watching. Okay, I just lost a viewer. I think that's him sending me the text message now because he has to do it from his phone, but there's a reason why I want to know if he's watching. Oh, that Mark Navarro. Why is he open? Can't can't leave him open. Oh, Ray Bentley, come on, man. Huh. He went in there so fast I couldn't control him. The ladies and gentlemen, the creator of the one of the files we're currently working on, 1984 to 2000, is now watching. I'd like to welcome him, Phantom Fighter. That roster is looking real nice. It's going to be finished soon. Best teams from 1984 to 2000. Hey, no problem. I think it's going to be a phenomenal set, playoff set. I've been doing a little bit to help. I named a couple teams, and just looking around at the teams that were done when I joined to help, it looks real phenomenal. The teams he's picked. Can't wait to pick one of the teams and have their quarterback throw 5 interceptions in the game. I can't wait. They're in there. In fact, Beat Blitz and U44 specifically downloaded the early edition of the roster 2 weeks ago just to start practicing with the 2000 Ravens. So if that's the team you want, you're going to have to, although the 85 Bears are on there too, but if that's the team you want, the 2000 Ravens, you're going to have to sign up quick. Because I know that oh, that's strange. I checked my my mic's still on. That's not the first time that's happened to me, though. Well, I will tell you this. Phantom Fighter gets first pick because that's his roster, and he's a Bears fan. So on the first... he only gets first pick the first time we do that roster. If we do that playoff set again, it'll be first come, first serve. But that is the one rule that's set up, is that the creator of the roster set, for instance, when we do the 1961, I'll get first pick. After that, it goes by your all-time Madden record. That was a heck of a run by Bell right there. Hard run. Let's see, what down is it? Your all-time Madden record. So, for instance, Brockinson's created the current one we're doing, and he got the first pick. And then Old Meathead, being the defending Super Bowl champion, got the second pick. If two guys have the same record all-time in these playoffs, then whoever joins first gets to pick. If there are two new guys who've never played before, then again, whoever joins first. Andre Reed is being a beast out there today. Kelly just throwing it up for a jump ball, and Reed not known as a jump ball player. Oh. Okay. Oh, shoot. The one guy never came back. My brother, I was hoping it was my brother, but... No, that's not him. If you look on the thread today from the post about the playoffs, where the guy said to put their PSN names, you can see who he is. Welcome back. I know I've turned the announcers off on my games because I don't like them referring to like Kelly as somebody else. Or I went through the '91 season and they kept calling him Nathan Peterman, and I don't believe I ever threw a 5 interception game. So not with Kelly anyway. I mean, I've done it with, shoot, I threw 8 with Matt Ryan one time. Yeah, and that was in a human game against, well, Old Meathead. He was the gentleman who won the Super Bowl in the last playoffs. Oh, against John M. No, John M's known for throwing some interceptions too. We've played head to head, and there was one Super Bowl where I jumped out. I was the '91 Bills and he was these '86 Giants, and I jumped out thanks to 3 interceptions, and then I started throwing them, and he came right back in the game, and I ended up winning 17-12. And I was so worried that the game was he was gonna get a field goal and go up 19-17, and then the 20-19 thing just weared on my mind. But luckily I won that game. But we played other games where with the 87 rosters, we went into overtime when I was Denver and he was the Giants. Whenever I play John M, it's always a hell of a game. Kind of glad he's in the NFC. He always seems to get the Giants, though. No, 91 was Norwood's last year. Brad Delwiso was kicking off. Norwood, against the Raiders in 91, Norwood missed an extra point and 3 field goals. He ended up winning the game in overtime with a field goal, but that game pretty much got his ass cut. And Steve Christie joined the Bills in 92. I'm in the middle right now watching for Super Bowl of the Month Club. I'm in the middle right now watching the Hail Mary game from '75. I'm just about to finish the 3rd quarter, so when I'm done this game, that would be what I'd go right back to, is watching that. But it was 10 o'clock and it was time for me to stream. We already have just in case you guys who, I know one of you said you live in Oakland, the other one in Chicago. We already have 5 feet of snow on the ground. And a week ago, tomorrow, Wednesday, we had none. So that's what I've been dealing with the last 6 days. I'm already on my second snowblower this year. My first one just wasn't cutting it, so we had to trade it in and get a bigger one. 2 years ago, we had the most snow in America, and it looks like we're on our way back to getting that again. You guys all saw the Bills Colts game, or the highlights of it. Well, when that storm finished going through Buffalo, it then went over another Great Lake, Lake Ontario, and built up more steam, and then pounded us. So, and it's snowing right now. I'll probably be up at 3 in the morning, snow blowing, so my wife can get to work. Thankfully, I'm off tomorrow, though. I'm going to be doing some roster work, working on that 84 to 2000 roster set. Hopefully get that ready to go by New Year's, so that Phantom Fighter here can put in ratings, and we get Conan Barbosa do the equipment and be ready to go. I think they got me holding, or they got them holding again. No, it's not. We're doing all-time teams. Creation by Brockinsons, if you want to download it. It's not the 84 to 2000 league yet. This is the all-time. He picked the best players in his mind, using Hall of Famers and stuff, mostly from Super Bowl era. And then he has the backups are still the 2017, like Nathan Peterman's still on the Bills. he put in when will it's probably the next playoff. It did win the polling on the message board or on the Facebook group, but it's not ready. So it'll probably be the very next one we do. And then I also downloaded a 2004 set, which is interesting because the gentleman who did it, his ratings are very low, which is going to make that for some very strategic games. Plus my 1960 roster set we hope to have done for the Super Bowl. The one problem with that one is that there's no NFC South team. So we're either going to have an 11-team playoff with somebody getting a game against an NFC South against a computer, or my other thought was to have the 12th man have. You should be able to. Like I said, we're planning for New Year's. We might even have it done a little sooner, but these playoff, the last one took 2 weeks to complete. And so it'll probably be after Christmas anyway. Ooh. Didn't catch it. Come on, Metzelars. Why am I playing Madden 16? Because I wanted to use these rosters created by I Teach History 78. Oh, I have 17 and 18 and I use them all. Doing a season with this 1986 Buffalo Bills on here. Now, see, I don't like the kicking option. I like the kicking on 17 and 18 better, in my opinion. But I didn't play 16 when it was live because I didn't have the PS4 then. Mine's Tecmo Super Bowl, hands down the original NES Tecmo Super Bowl. First of all, it used the 91 season, which is my favorite Bills season ever. Second of all, it was the first to incorporate a full season. It kept the stats were nice and easy to read. I mean, okay, the games weren't realistic. I think I had 102 sacks with Jerry Ball once using the Lions and 3,000 yards rushing with Barry Sanders. But so what? It was fun. I still play Tecmo on my computer emulators. In fact, if you scroll back in my videos, I found an emulator for it's the Stella. No, that's the Atari. Nessie. Excuse me, Nessie is the emulator I used. NESSIE. And if you go to Tecmo, let me see, TecmoWorld.org, you can find all the emulators. And I found one for the original Tecmo Bowl. It had the 1959 rosters. Mainly because it was the last year you could use just 12 teams. So it had the original 12 NFL teams. And playing it on the computer is a lot different than playing it with it when you don't have a joystick. Or the controller, that's what I meant, controller. And I didn't do so. I was John Unitas in the Colts, and I kept throwing interceptions to the Bears. Was I playing the Bears? Yeah, I was playing the Bears. Right into, oh, thank God he caught it. Whoever that was asking why we're playing Madden, are you still around, or did you... I lose viewers every now and then, you never know who it is. It's nice to see guys pop in though and help get me some views. Yes, sir. Well, you wonder sometimes where they get the knowledge that you're even on live. Probably they like watching video games, which is cool. Me personally, I like getting the view counts, because once you hit 10,000, you can monetize your channel, and don't know if I can. I don't know how much money you can make doing video games, but ooh, good tackle. I'm just under 8,000 views right now, so I need 2,000 more. Oh, to me, it's like our father's bowling leagues, or or slow pitch softball. In our technology-driven world, we're joining Madden leagues. So we don't have to leave our houses. And especially when I'm getting as much snow as I'm getting. That's cool. I posted earlier, if you're on the Super Bowl of the Month Club, I posted earlier a thing asking guys who are old enough to remember Super Bowl 10 to tell us their stories. Because tomorrow we're posting Super Bowl 10 in the group. And a guy just told a story. He's telling a story, and he's from the suburbs of Chicago. But he's a Viking fan. So he's telling a story about how his friend, who's a Cowboy fan, again, suburbs of Chicago in the mid-70s, so he's telling a story about how his buddy's a Cowboy fan, he's a Viking fan, and what it was like going into that Super Bowl. And that's the kind of thing I like the Super Bowl group, because you get to hear from guys who, I'm 38, I was born in 79. My first Super Bowl experience is in 1985 with the Bears and Patriots, and I'll tell that story when we get to it. But it's kind of cool to hear from the older guys that are alive, or were alive in 75 and can remember it, and to see them tell their stories, to read them, and not only that, but get to watch the games. That's cool. My brother's a big Cowboy fan, so a month like this, where I'm watching them win more than they lose, is, well, good for him, I guess. Oh, 1980. You live by the past, you die by the past. Red Right 88, the Browns. One of the first NFL highlight films that we sent away to NFL Films and bought was the 1980 Browns, and just because I'm OCD and I went at chronologically or alphabetically, so to see that whole story of the cardiac Browns, and I got an injury. Martin Bayless is down. Oh, no, he's getting up. The cardiac kids or whatever, and then did I call that play Red Rocket 88? That's not right. It's Red Right 88. Red Rocket would be kind of perverse, I guess. Oh! Sims got me that time. Somebody's hurt. I heard a crunch. Steve Freeman. Not good. Red Right 88. Mistake, but well, I don't personally know any Browns fans, so I guess I'll have to go with that. I can't argue with it. Especially in the last 20 some odd years. Ever since the original Browns hightailed it to Baltimore. They've only had one winning season. But what boggles my mind is the Bills still have a longer playoff drought than them. Right now the Bills are in 6th place. If the playoffs began today, they'd be heading down to Jacksonville. Atlanta's in 6th place too. Where would they be going? Let's see. Philly, Minnesota, Los Angeles. Atlanta would be heading to Los Angeles. Red Right 88. I believe so. I think that is the title of that's what the game's called. Kind of a weird name for what they call NFL lore. Like I'm watching the Hail Mary game, which really in today's, that's Steve Freeman, Bruce Dribbs. In terms of today's Hail Marys, that really wasn't a Hail Mary. Nice play by Romes. He was out there roaming in the secondary. Ha, that killed me. Somebody's happy. Look at that beautiful helmet. I wish they'd go back to that one. It was. The 49ers would run a similar play in the 50s, but they call it the alley-oop, which became a basketball term. And I don't think it was ever used, like now it's used in a game and a half. Exactly, right there. Staubach was the one that coined the term. And R.C. Owens, though. Y.A. Tittle would throw to R.C. Owens in the late 50s, and they called it the alley-oop. And on the NFL Films 1993 or 4 film video they released, the 100 Greatest Touchdowns, they had one of those alley-oops, and it was ho 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 ho. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Wow. I forgot Lawrence Taylor was out there. Let me go to this side. Oh. Anyway, okay, back to the alley-oop. Y.A. Tittle to R.C. Owens, John Brody to R.C. Owens, and they called it the alley-oop. But it was Staubach who changed the name and coined the term, and that's why the game went down in lore as the Hail Mary. And if you think about it, back then, religious terms were huge when it come to football and naming football games. Just 3 years prior, you had the Immaculate Reception. The best game that I have done? If you find the Super Bowl that me and John M played, the 91 Bills and 86 Giants, that's a really good game. Or the 87 from the regular season that we did, I don't know if you've seen it or not, the Broncos and Giants, that's another good one. They are available, everything is cataloged. I have playlists. The 91 Bills and 86 Giants season, those are the only two teams we changed. They're in a whole playlist by themselves. On my page, if you click on playlists and scroll down, that one's on there. The other one, random video games, is where everything that is not categorized, or when something loses its like the original custom playoffs we did. They all originally were in a playlist, but now the promotion is over. They went into random video games. And if you want to see what I was like in high school myself, look for the old Saranac Lake Redskin football games. I don't play much. I was a backup, but I was way offsides. I'm surprised there's not a flag. My favorite game that I played in was the 1994 homecoming game. It's the JV Saranac Lake versus Saranac, and about an hour and 12 minutes in or so, the starting quarterback gets knocked loopy, and I come off the bench, and I mean, a lot of running. It's high school football in the mid-90s, so there's a lot of running, but I had one play that I dropped back to pass and immediately took off running, and as I'm nearing the line of scrimmage, I see Doug Cochran, my big tight end, cutting across the middle, and I just kind of loft the ball over one of the chief defenders, and he catches it, goes out of bounds, and the crowd goes nuts, and no score, just a first down. But that was basically me saying to the fans and coaching staff that I was a sophomore. I can play this, even though the freshman was starting because he was 6'4" and had a rocket arm. But I was more Doug Flutie in a time when Doug Flutie was still up in Canada and nobody wanted to see that kind of quarterback down in America. But I had fun in high school. I mean, we went to one state title game in '95. Those playoff games are on there too. I have Marv Levy's retirement press conference on my YouTube channel. Well, they're threatening to... Oh man, that's not good. And not to mention Vinny's takes. My Rob Levy is a flat-out legend. You know, he's 90-something years old and still going strong. Ooh, nice catch. I'm surprised we didn't just see the since this is Madden 16, I kind of figured we'd see the Odell Beckham animation right there. That was, ooh. Did he get his foot down? No. Did they call it catch?
The previous play is under review. After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Ah, yes. I don't think I've ever won a challenge before. Why is it still first and goal? It's reversed, but they... Talk about a glitch. The ruling on the field was reversed, but they still had first and goal. And I just plowed into the kicker too. Well, if the refs keep giving them calls, have a good night, Phantom Fighter, and I am enjoying your 1960s tests. I will be watching the Hail Mary game after this, though, so I'll check out your test later on. I can't wait till we get John M and I are going to play the NFL title game tomorrow. And I haven't heard back from Wild Child 80 on when we're going to do the AFL. But once we get to the Super Bowl and that, we'll be making the announcement on what we're planning on doing with them beside the playoffs. Now in college, I would run these Madden leagues. Simultaneously we'd do an NCAA and a Madden. And we would have partnerships. For instance, I would be the Atlanta Falcons, and a buddy of mine was running the Georgia Bulldogs, and he would create me and him on his roster, and he would work them up through... I'm not paying attention, I just got a wasted time out. We would work them up through the college level while I'm running the Falcons and Michael Vick through the NFL. And when I'd get into this position, I used to piss my opponents off because I would use that DVD of the Dunn, Vick, and who was the other D? Dunn, Vick, the fullback. And I would just run the ball, and then I would sit in the huddle like I'm doing now and just sit and just let the time tick. And one game against my buddy who was the Eagles, I got the opening kickoff in the third quarter, and I'm leading 17-10. And I started doing this sitting in the huddle. And I did not let him. I ran one drive. We were playing 5-minute quarters. One drive lasted 10 minutes. I scored on the very last second of the fourth quarter to win the game 24-10. And he was pissed. He was pulling his hair out. I need to find that kind of style again, though, and play that kind of ball and not force things. But back then we didn't have the PS2 was what we used. We were using Madden 03 or Madden 04, and we were just, the online was just getting going, but so everybody had to come to my room to play the games. And one guy, he lived in Messina, which is about 45 minutes away from Canton, where we went to college. He was already studying to be a state trooper, so he had already graduated and moved on. And he didn't have a partner. He was Ohio State and the Indianapolis Colts. He was both. And so he would come and he would literally play on a Saturday night 4 games. He would drive up on Saturday night and he would play his 2 Ohio State games. The end of the week we were in the beginning of the next week, and then top that disc out and play the Indianapolis Colts 2 games, so that during the week we could all play our games up until when he come again. We never got through more than 2 seasons where having a guy living 45 minutes away that wasn't in college, but everybody else was on campus. Phantom Fighter is live with the 1960 Bills and Steelers exhibition game. He's probably simming the games. There's a test. He's testing out various playbooks and Mr. Ogie, I just saw your post on the Classic Games thing about last night's game. And his YouTube channel, click on his name, Phantom Fighter. It was posted earlier, the Dolphins-Patriots game was posted earlier today in a condensed version, so about half an hour long. And I'm sure Mr. Waldrop will be posting the complete version at some point this week, because he usually does. Well, so much for running the clock there. Holding penalty really killed me. It's alright, because they still need to score twice. Nice punt. Well, my brother never answered, so if you do, Stonewall, we'll call you by your wrestling name. If you are watching the video, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. In about 51 minutes, he turns 44, even though he's a Cowboy fan. He's also a Raiders fan, they're his second favorite team, so I'd like to wish him a happy birthday, and I hope it's a great day, and hope your kids come over and you see them, and enjoy yourself, buddy. I'd make a crack about you being 44, but I don't want to offend anybody else that might be in of that persuasion. Yeah, that's why I said I'm not gonna. Actually, for him turning 44 and me in 6 years when I turned 44, it's a big milestone for us, because our mother was 43 when she passed away. So for him to hit that, I know that means a lot to him, and it'll mean a lot to me in a few years. And just hope he has a great day. Well, I appreciate that. It's been 21 years, and it never gets easier, but you have a good night. Enjoy the game over on Phantom's channel. See some vintage Bills and Steelers. You know, we're playing using the 86 rosters, but this is the 2015 schedule, because it's Madden 16. And I know several guys that were at this game, this Bills-Giants game. Later in the year, I would take my father-in-law and my son and other family members to their first NFL game as we went to see the Cowboys and Bills. It's like somebody dumped Marlevy in an acid vat. Gotta run one more play. Finish this game up. I'm going to get back to watch the fourth quarter of the Hail Mary. See Roger Staubach hit Drew Pearson. Was it a push-off? Was it not? I don't know. So the Bills get to 2-3. All right, let's take a look at the standings. Now where the Bills play next, as we will advance to Week 5. Won't be done tomorrow, though. Tomorrow night, it is the 1960 NFL title game between the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans. To play against Warren Moon. Your current playoff picture is thus. In the AFC, the Cleveland Browns have home field advantage, while the New England Patriots get the other first-round bye. It's the Denver... No, that's not right. Denver gets the other bye. It's 4-0, goes over 3-0. New England would be hosting... Let's see, New England, Tennessee... the Raiders, and Tennessee would host the Chiefs. And in the NFC, currently the Bears are undefeated, sitting in home field advantage. The Los Angeles Rams get the other bye. The Carolina Panthers, they're 4-0. With nobody on the roster. Carolina is the South, and the East is the Giants. Carolina would host the 49ers, and the Giants would host the Saints. So thank you for joining. And until next time, in a couple days when we play Tennessee. Tomorrow, remember, check in for the